Hello, my little bunnies and rabbits. Welcome back. My name is Rini the Rabbit. If you're here for the very first time, welcome. And if you are not, once again, welcome back. I am so glad to have you. So this video is actually for my friend Emily. Hi, Emily. I love you, babe. And she wanted to know, Rini, what is the difference between illuminizing and bronzing? I don't get what these products do and what they are. And I was like, Emily, just calm down. And she literally grabbed me by the throat and was like, tell me what they are. And I'm like, Emily, no. I went to a really dark place. Let's just get into it. Alrighty, so I hope that you know none of that story was true whatsoever, but Emily did ask me, what is the difference between bronzing and illuminating and highlighting and bronzer and like how do all these products essentially play together? You know, I know what highlighting is, I know what bronzing is, or I know what bronzer is, but what is the difference between bronzing and bronzer and highlighting and illuminating? What is the difference between those? And today we are going to be diving into that. So first, let's talk about illuminating. Okay, so starting off with illuminating, I have these three products for us today that we're gonna be talking about illuminating, and these three products are specifically made for illuminating. So I have the Marc Jacobs Coconut Dewdrops in Golden. I have the NYX Born to Glow, and I have the Cover FX Drops, and I'm pretty sure the color Moonlight. So what is illuminating? So illuminating is what I think of is when it's like dimly lit and there's just like a nice kind of glow that's happening. To me, that's illuminating, and that's what all these products do. So all of these products I would recommend putting in your foundation, just 1 or 2 drops for your foundation, and that's gonna give you a really luminous glow and just look like your skin is just freshly bathed in and just really dewy and hydrated, and you're just gonna look like, oh, just like really refreshed. And that's what illuminating really does. So there's a ton of illuminating products out there, and these three are the ones that I specifically have. So this is a little bit more rose gold, this is a little bit more pink, and this is a little bit more golden. And so I wanna show the difference on the back of my hand between the three. And when you put them in the foundation, it just really adds just a little light to your foundation and just looks like, it just brings a freshness to your face. And it's not necessarily highlighting. However, you can use these as highlighters after you apply your foundation, and just pat them on the tops of your cheekbones right there to give like a more luminous and dewy finish to that without being like a blinding streak of highlight. And that's kind of what these products are made for. And so I'm just going to show you. So I did a drop of all three of those. So that is the Marc Jacobs, the NYX, and then the Cover FX. So I'm just gonna blend that out on my hand, on the back of my hand. Oh my gosh, I put too much Marc Jacobs. So just to show, so this one right here is the Marc Jacobs, and it just really adds like a really golden glow, and this is perfect for medium to dark girls, or if you're fair and you want to wear something a little bit more golden, then by all means you are welcome to. The pink right here in the middle for NYX is definitely made for more fair pink skin types. Not saying that a darker girl couldn't wear the one in the middle, however, it's gonna kind of maybe make you look a little bit more ashy or white. And then the one on here at the very end is the rose gold. Any skin tone can wear it. So I would put any of these in your foundation, just a couple of drops, and then with a beauty blender, blend it out all over, and it's gonna give you a very dewy, luminous, and like just really refreshed look. It is not gonna be anything like super bright. So now I'm gonna do a comparison to highlighters. Okay, highlighters. Yay, so I have Jeffree Star, MAC, and Anastasia Beverly Hills, just to give a range of variety in here. So this is the Jeffree Star, this is the Eclipse, and you can just see how bright and luminous that is. And I'm gonna be putting that on the back of my hand. And what highlighters usually do, they are usually powder form, and they are meant to give you that blinding, wet sheen on your face and supposed to be like really a lot more concentrated. Some of them have like a lot of glitter in them, and these ones also have different shades, like as far as like being golden, pink, or white, or whatever, all the shades in between. Jeffree Star has blue, green, you name it, he's made it. Okay, so I put this on the back of my hand, this being the Jeffree Star Eclipse, this right here being in the middle, the MAC, and then this over here is being the Anastasia Beverly Hills in the color Summer, and this in the MAC is the, oh God, it's the Soft and Gentle Highlight. So you can see these have more of a blinding glow because these are way more concentrated, but this makes my skin look wet. And like they add just like, they're very concentrated in this area, but these are so concentrated that you need to dull them down with your foundation, and you get that really luminous effect all over without being like big chunks of glitter. These, the highlighters, tend to have big chunks of glitter in them, and so it's like a lot more noticeable. So if anybody has like acne in this general area or wherever you decide to put a highlighter, you know, amen.
You know, amen.
Wherever you decide to put a highlighter, it can actually make that more noticeable because of the skin texture. So if you have textured skin, you might want to avoid highlighter, but you might want to pick up an illuminator to place all over your face with your foundation. So that, my dear friends, is the difference between illuminating and highlighting. Next, we're gonna be moving on to bronzing and bronzer. And what is kind of the difference between bronze and bronzing? I guess they're kind of the same, but we haven't really, there's different categories essentially, but I'm gonna break them down for you right now. Okay, so starting off with bronzing, I have these 3 products right here for you. So I have the MAC, it's called Cheeky Bronze, the Too Faced Beach Bunny, and then again in the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, the color is called Bronzed in here. So when you're looking for bronzing, it's gonna have more shine to it and be really shimmery. It's almost like a dark version of highlighting, in the sense of like, have you ever seen those tan like commercials for get a summer tan and a glow, and they're like nice and tan and bronze? They're using something like this. Those tend to be liquids, but they're using something like this. So bronzing for medium to fair girls in the products that I have right here are gonna be like more cheek placements, and I guess even for darker girls, bronzing could be kind of in this area to give like a nice, more tan or luminous glow. So this is the MAC one, and I'm just gonna take that, and this has a little bit more, it's like a copper in there. So it has a little bit more pink, and I just wanna lay down the pigment on the back of my hand so you can really see. And then this is the Too Faced, the Beach Bunny. So it has shimmer in here. All of these have shimmer. And then this is the Anastasia one. So obviously you can tell I both really like these 2 colors, and I just can't get enough of them. I need to buy another palette. Hate it. Okay, so these are the 3 colors right here. So you can tell they're almost like highlighters, but a dark version. They have coppery, there's like a copper, red, and then maybe like a little bit more on the darker brownish side. So this was the Anastasia Bronze, this was the Too Faced, the Beach Bunny, and this was the MAC, the Cheeky Bronze. So you can see I use all of these as blushes, and I put them right in this area right here after my contour, because I just want like that summer glow, like I'm tan, like I'm one of those tan girls modeling those products. That's what bronzing is. It's almost like a cheek placement. You can even use it on your chest, on your décolletage here, and your collarbones, wherever you want to use it, you can. It's to like just make you look more tan, yes, but it's not bronzer, because you don't want to get too heavy-handed and too messy with this on your face, because it can look really muddy easily, and that's not something you want to put all over your face. You want to be luminous and dewy, and well, you could be matte, whatever, but you want to look like luminous, like in the contoured areas, right? And so these areas where you're actually contouring, like on your chin and your cheeks and the sides of your forehead and your nose, you don't necessarily want those to be glittery and shimmery. And also part of what I was talking about was glimmery and shimmery is that sometimes when you have acne, it can actually emphasize those. And so maybe bronzing and bronzing and highlighting may not be the best for you. However, if you are looking for that more dewy finish, you can get an illuminator, which is not, it's more concentrated, but when you use a little bit in your foundation, it just adds that overall glow. This is gonna add a glow, but like in a more tan, more bronzed way. So now we're gonna talk about bronzer. All right, so the two bronzers I have are these two, the Benefit Hoola bronzer, and then the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer. So you can tell I also really enjoy this bronzer. Oh, it smells like chocolate. Literally, I'm not a chocolate fan, but it smells like hot chocolate. It's just so good. And then the Hoola bronzer, dang, I am running out, you guys. I need to get some new products. So both of those, I'm gonna swatch them on the back of my hand, are matte, which means there is no shimmer. They are not gonna look like this and give off that sheen and that shine. They are just gonna create that shadow. So what I like about the Too Faced and the Chocolate Soleil bronzer is that it actually has a lot more grayish tone and a lot more blue tone. And you can definitely see that in the Hoola, because if you are a fairer girl, then you know that when you get bronzers, they can look really orangey on you, and that's not what you want all over your face. It's not a super orangey look. We're not going for a Donald Trump look. I mean, unless you're into that, then go for it by all means. So I am just gonna spread that out on the back of my hand, just so you can see the difference. Okay. So this one right here is the Hoola. So it's a hint more orange, and then this is the Too Faced, and this is a lot more toned down. Like, it's not orange, it has like almost like a bluish compared next to it, I would say, like a bluish tone. However, what's great about those is that depending on whatever skin type or color that you are, if you wanna go orange, if you wanna go something a little bit not orangey, in like the more cool tones, then those are two great products for you. So what matte is gonna do is it's really gonna carve out and contour your cheeks without looking super glittery, and it's not gonna get glitter all over your face, and you may not want that, like that messy or muddy look that bronzing can do for you, but maybe you want a more definite, like, because there's so many things that have glitter in them. So we have illuminator, we have blush, we have highlighter, and now you're just adding even more glitter in the bronzer. Like, you really need some things to like carve out and cut out your cheekbone right here, so that way it's just a nice, it's shaping your face without being too glittery, and it's not gonna show texture as much, which is why I like bronzing. But I have all these different products because I like going for different looks. To recap, we have Illuminating, which goes into foundation, which is really concentrated highlighters. Highlighters, which go on top of skin, but if you have textured skin, can emphasize that and be really, really concentrated and give off that more dewy and wet and like metallic look on your cheek. When you're using an illuminator and you're patting into the skin, it's just gonna look like a soft glow. Bronzing, it's gonna give you that nice tan bronze, like you're gonna be shooting a commercial for some self tanner look, and we're gonna use that in the cheeks, up here, down here if you want a little bit, to give just like a little bit more darkness to you. The matte bronzer is gonna go in those specific areas to really, it's not gonna counteract, and it's not gonna be too glittery for you, and it's gonna really pull everything all together. So I use a combination of both. So if I'm using a bronzer, a bronzing thing like the MAC Cheeky one, I'm gonna be using that on my cheeks and in this area. Now if I'm using a matte bronzer, I'm also gonna be using it on my nose, up here, down here, here, in those areas to help contour my face, and that's what I'm gonna be doing with those. If I'm using an illuminating product like my Cover FX dropper, I'm gonna be taking that and putting a little bit in my foundation, or when I'm done, just taking a little dab and dabbing that right here. Highlighter, cheeks, here, 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 all over, wherever you want, to give like that really nice glow. I'm gonna end on that note. And I hope that I didn't really circumvent or go in circles, I guess. And I really hope that I did answer your questions, Emily. And I hope I did answer your questions to the rest of the public. Or maybe you had no idea what these products even were. But I have used a couple of them in my previous tutorials. So you can take a look and see how they work thus far. And that is all for this video. So if you have any comments, questions, concerns, please leave that down below and I will be happy to respond to you. If you would like a video suggestion, then I will make a video just for you, like I did my friend Emily, and it'll be gorgeous, and you're welcome advance in the future. And until my next video, bunny kisses. I hope you have a really good week, you guys. To glow. And then the Cover FX dropper, and I think it's Moonlight. So I'm not quite sure. Ah!